Hi, and welcome to the Coming Strength and Fitness Fitcast. I'm Jill, coach and owner of CSNF, and I'm here along with my team to take your fitness experience to a new level. In each episode, we'll bring you helpful conversations with our coaches, members, and guests to provide additional value to your gym experience and understanding to our mission at CSNF to change lives through fitness. Hope you enjoy the episode.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning back into the Coming Strength and Fitness Fitcast, a podcast to help you take your fitness to the next level. If we have not yet met, my name is Alex Cottingham, a coach here at Coming Strength and Fitness, and in the studio today we have the one, the only, Jill Thornton. Jill, how you doing?
Hey. Doing good.
What did you think about that intro? Did you approve of that? Do you want me to make it better?
You could have probably added a little bit more enthusiasm,
And now, standing 5'7" in a blue sweater.
I wish I was 5'7".
Oh, sorry, I don't really know how tall you are.
5'4".
Oh. Anyone, if you're wondering how tall Jill is, it is not 5'7". It's 5'4". I'm sorry. Jill, before we dive into just Nutrition 101, we're going to talk about all things food today, which is a vital component to our health and fitness. If there is one word to describe your current mood, how are you doing right now? What's that one word?
My current mood?
Your current mood.
Current mood is I'm pretty content.
Content.
Pretty content. My kids are out of school today.
Yep.
And we're just hanging out at the gym, recording a podcast. I'm here with, classes are happening and it's sun shining.
Another
feeling good about life today.
Another day in paradise.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, Jill, I am super excited to jump into this conversation, this content with you, kind of unpack some things, elaborate on some things, paint a picture on really what we should be striving for, what do we talk about when we talk about nutrition, proper eating clean, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Jill, I'm just going to toss it over to you when it comes to just basic nutrition 101. If you could just sit across from everybody and tell them 2 or 3 minutes on nutrition facts, what would you tell them?
Basic nutrition. Well, I'll first say I'm not a dietitian, but I am a very experienced eater, and I love food.
As in, like, you've eaten a lot?
Yeah, and everything. And I've really dabbled in a lot of different eating methodologies and strategies. So a few things that I'll law about to start with is what I've learned over the years is the best diet is the one that is sustainable. And I use the D word,
good.
The diet. I don't like that word.
I don't either.
Because everybody's on a diet, right? Like, it's just got such a negative connotation to it. I prefer, like, my lifestyle, my eating lifestyle. So that's one big thing, sustainable. If you're doing something that's not sustainable with your eating, why are you doing it?
Yes.
If you can't do it forever, let's find a strategy that you can do forever.
Yes.
Another thing is, and you and I just talked about this a little bit ago, is there are no foods that are bad, right?
Yes.
There are certain quantities of certain foods that are bad. Not bad, but can be impactful to your health.
Less beneficial.
Yes. But there are no bad foods.
That's good.
And then one thing that I feel that is really important for people is the amounts and the quality of food that they're eating. Quality is super important, just as important as quantity. So what types of food you're eating and how much of those foods you're eating in a sustainable lifestyle is what we're looking for with basic nutrition.
So let's back up into those 3 main buckets because that is huge. We kind of just skimmed right by them, but if everybody could just take away these 3 points, I really do feel like it would be a game changer.
Sure.
So the first one is sustainability.
Yeah.
Am I going to do this forever? Because if yes, there is a purpose and a value behind the whole 30 for 30 days, but there's a time limit. 30 days, I'm not going to do this forever.
Right.
But when I'm looking at am I going to carry this habit, this eating behavior with me? If I'm not going to sustain this in the rest of my life because there's so much more to food, why do it?
Right.
I like to say sustainable is maintainable. If I'm not going to do it forever, I'm probably not going to incorporate it in my day.
Right. And let's take an example here. Let's say you do a 6-week juice cleanse. Okay? Nothing against juice cleanses. You lose 15 pounds because your caloric intake has decreased, and that's how you lose weight. What happens when you start eating again?
It's going right back up.
It's going right back on.
Yeah.
So rather than using a 6-week challenge to lose those 15 pounds that are going to come right back when you eat again, and you will eat again.
Yes.
Find a strategy with your eating that's going to get the weight off that you can continue.
Yes.
And that's what we're looking for.
Yes.
And, second level to that would be adding quality foods into that strategy. And then the third level to that would be how much of those quality foods are you eating inside of that?
That's good.
Yeah.
I remember talking with a nutrition expert, and I can't remember the actual statistic, but I'm going to ballpark it for the effect of this. Why I'm bringing this up is she was talking to me about how people go on the binge restrict
Yes.
cycle. They
Yeah.
restrict, they go on a diet for 6 weeks, and then they get off, and because they have no freedom, then all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I'm going to binge eat. I'm going to gain that 15 pounds I just lost, and over the year they go up 10, lose 15, go up 5, lose 10, go up, and they just keep going up and down, up and down, where that's not as healthy as maybe just a sustainable trend line. Where the crazy statistic was, gosh, and this is the statistic I need to go back and look up, it's probably around in the 80 to 90% range of the people who went on that year-long cycle of binge restrict, I'm going to try keto and then I'm going to get off. I'm going to try paleo, I'm going to get off. They actually gained weight 1 year from when they started than prior to that. So if I were to do that for the next year, I would actually be at a higher weight. I would actually gained weight rather than finding a sustainable route, because it really is not sustainable. It's pretty up and all over the place.
Absolutely.
And then the other one let's unpack really quick is that food is not good or bad. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's common, misconceptions about certain food groups. Let's take carbohydrates, for instance. They got a bad rap out there, but they're so delicious and they are so good for your body and your metabolism and for increasing performance and for energy. I mean, they're there for a reason. They're a macronutrient. And a lot of people think carbs are bad. They are not bad. They're important and we need them. We need them for our health purposes, for recovery purposes, for everything. So carbohydrates have a bad rap. That's just one of those things that we need to implement into our diet and not eliminate. Speaking of elimination, I think that anytime you go down the route with an eating strategy that eliminates a food group, it's going to be very difficult.
Yes.
Let's take, for instance, keto. I'm not picking on keto. Some people have seen great results with that, but you're going to eat, a carbohydrate again at some point in your life. And when that happens, you'll immediately shift out of ketosis, and then you're back to square one.
Right.
So carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, they're all very important. And then you have your micronutrients, your vitamins, and your minerals that are important too. But just keeping a focus on not eliminating any food group, but making sure that you're eating quality foods in the right amounts.
Yes.
And I also like to live by the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, I'm eating those high quality fruits, vegetables, lean meats, and nuts and seeds and oils. 20% of the time, I'm eating Lucky Charms and donuts. Okay.
Exactly.
And that is sustainable for me.
Yes.
I can, eat my high quality paleo foods 80% of the time and then enjoy my treat at the end of the day. And I've been eating that way for almost, 8 years at this point, and it is absolutely what works for me. And I play with it a little bit too. Sometimes I'll have more carbs surrounding my workouts if I wanted to get an increase in performance. And then whenever I'm getting ready to, cut weight for a weightlifting event, when you're in a sport that requires that you kind of have to really be able to dial in your nutrition, then I'll pull those carbs back a little bit to get that weight down for weigh-in day. So yeah, lots of strategy there. And then the 80-20 rule is something that I really like to embrace and encourage other people to do.
Jill, it's funny you say that, because we have actually, personally, me to you, have never talked about in depth the 80-20 rule, but that is what I've been doing for probably the past 6 to 7 years, not because it's sustainable, because there's more to life than just food.
There is?
Food, there actually is. I mean, food is also emotional. It's relational. Yes, it is physical. But I'm not a professional athlete that depends on my athletic performance for my income. Where if I'm going to go out on a Friday night and have a pizza with some friends, 20% of that says yes, I can, because that's more of a social element, a relational element, where I'm not just going to restrict.
Right.
Decrease my happiness, and then in 6 months I'm going to binge and get out of that sustainable
lifestyle. So quality of life you have to take into account when you're trying to figure this whole thing out. For sure.
Exactly.
And if you're going to the birthday party and you're not having the cake, okay, maybe time and a place, right?
Sure.
But if you're not having it because you're restricting, I mean, is that impacting your quality of life?
Exactly. I love that. Where that 80% of the 80% of what you eat are quality foods.
Yes.
I like to say real whole foods, which
Yes.
are, when I talk about real foods, it's the foods that you find out in nature the same way you'd find them in a grocery store, like a sweet potato, an apple, an egg. Like those
Carrots.
are almonds, nuts. You don't really see much human intervention with those. Like your processed and your sugary foods, those may not be as beneficial, not good or bad, but less beneficial. But just really eating real foods in those sensible portions. But that quality aspect is so important.
Yes.
So
Yep.
Jill, we're pretty much, we can boil it down to eat real foods in sensible portions, mostly plants, quality foods. That is super important, sustainable, it's beneficial, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Let's talk about application. Let's
Okay.
talk about really diving into our daily habits and how can we incorporate them. And I know you have been just really aware of what you do over the past several years, and I think you can add so much value to the people listening right now as far as application, practical tips and tricks, all that stuff.
Right.
So, Jill, let's talk about, we walk into a grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
What are just some things that are going through your brain? What are some like common go-to snacks, foods, what all that stuff?
Yeah.
What is things you should do, shouldn't do? Where are you going? What are you picking up? Talk to us about that experience.
Yeah. So when I walk in, I first look for the Starbucks and then I get my coffee. Step one.
Funny but true.
Yes, funny but true. So over the years, I've kind of built a grocery list in my mind. Like I know exactly what I'm going in to buy every time. We buy lean meats, vegetables, fruits, and then we shop the perimeter of the store. And by perimeter, I mean everything that has to be refrigerated for the most part, minus ice cream. But it is going to have that natural component to it.
Hey,
So
80-20.
80-20,
80-20.
right? That ice cream section, I mean, I will definitely go by there. Definitely.
Me too.
So we'll start with the fruits and vegetables. I will load up at least 3 different vegetables. I'll go to the meat department and I'll get 2 to 3 different kinds of meat. I will get tons of fruit. My kids love to snack on fruit, baby carrots, things like that. I'll grab guacamole. I'll grab all the things. And what we plan to do each week is batching foods. So we meal prep by grilling a lot of lean meats on the weekends and prepping vegetables so that they're accessible throughout the week. So meal prep for us is a big thing. It keeps things readily accessible in our refrigerator, and it also keeps us on track with the 80-20 and eating quality foods. Preparation has been a huge key for us. You know how this feels when you're in the car and you're like, I've got nothing to eat at home and I'm so hungry. I'm going to pull over at the Golden Arches and just get a Big Mac real fast because you're just so hungry. But if you know that you have a plan, you've got a meal waiting for you at home and it's healthy, it's just one less thing to have to worry about.
That's
for
good.
sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
So let's continue in that vein. So let's say someone's like, man, I want to do that, but I'm so busy. I'm running around with 3 kids. I have a very demanding job. Let's say I'm out and about and I don't have time to run home. What do you suggest? I may have 45 minutes to an hour to go grab something out and about. What would you suggest or advise that person to go do?
Yeah, it's, this day and age, it's not too hard to find something that's pretty decent out and about. My go-tos are Chipotle. Get a big salad bowl with some lean meat and veggies on there and call it a day.
Pretty quality.
Pretty quality. Also, like Zoe's Kitchen. I don't know if that's local to everybody, but they have pretty good options there. And then Chick-fil-A. I love their salads.
Yes.
Anytime you can get a salad with a piece of grilled meat on it, you're winning.
Yes.
Like that's perfect. You're getting your vegetables, you're getting your lean protein, and then you're getting a little bit of fat with your salad dressing or whatever toppings they have, like nuts or almonds or whatever. But those are my 3 go-to in terms of a quick option on days where I don't have anything prepared already.
That's great. So last little quick hitter application question is, let's say you are scrapped for time. You are at home. What is your go-to meal? What is your go-to snack? You're walking out the door. What are some of your go-tos?
Yeah. So snacks, I try to do fruit if possible, like an apple. And fruit also gets a bad rap because people are like, oh, the high sugars and bananas. I'm not going to eat a banana, but then they'll go eat a sleeve of Oreos. And I'm like, okay, you should have had the banana.
Yes, exactly.
So fruit is good. I love peanut butter. We've talked about how I'd love to be sponsored by peanut butter. So I will put peanut butter on an
this
apple.
Is at you, Jiffy. Will you sponsor Jill, please?
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
And so I'll get a rice cake, peanut butter, sliced up apples. Love things like that. Greek yogurt is good if you don't have any kind of sensitivity to dairy. I like a Greek yogurt with fruit and some nuts on it or something like that. So just things that are quick but also healthy. And then if I'm in a pinch for a meal, and I'll give you 2 different options. If I'm literally on my way home and I have 5 minutes to run into Kroger to get dinner, I'm getting this. I am getting a rotisserie chicken. It's already made. It's hot.
Yes.
Literally when I get home, it's hot. It's ready to go. You will get a bag of frozen veggies. Pick your favorite. Broccoli, okra, whatever. And then I'm going to get steamable sweet potatoes that I can put in the microwave. They're wrapped with saran wrap. I can be home and have all of that prepared in 10 minutes and have a hot meal on the table.
Well, everyone, please run to your Kroger right now and grab the rotisserie chicken, veggie, and steamed sweet potatoes. That sounds great. I love that. I did not know that, but that sounds delicious.
Yeah.
So, Jill, really quick, let's talk about two more elements when it comes to just the nutrition field in general that are very important in this conversation. One is the topic of hydration.
Mm-hmm.
Making sure we're getting enough water, fluids throughout the day. Here's the thing. I don't think anybody would ever argue. I've never heard anybody debate me that we need to drink water,
No.
right? When we say
Yeah.
that, everyone's like, yeah, I need to drink more water, need to drink more water. There's obviously some tips and tricks on how to do that. Is there one go-to when it comes to making sure you're hydrating enough that helps you?
Yes. So I'll be honest. I don't like water. I like coffee beans steeped in water.
Oh, jeez.
I have a problem.
We're talking about that next. Don't worry, people.
I've admitted it. But I don't like water. So the ways that I can kind of trick myself into drinking it is put it in a cute cup with a straw.
Put it in a cute cup and a straw.
I will drink water if it's in a cute cup with a cute little straw.
That's
But
funny.
if it's in a regular old cup, I'm not drinking it. The other thing is, specifically in like the summertime, is to put things in your water.
Yeah, fruit in your water, exactly.
Infuse it. And then a last resort is I will get some kind of like water flavoring. If I need a lot of water and I just don't feel like drinking plain water, I will get like, those little drops that you can put in it. But
Sure.
Yeah, I like the cup and the straw the best.
That's great. The two that I thought of, honestly, just carrying a water bottle. When I just carry a water bottle and it's with me, then I'm gonna drink it more. Where if it's sitting right here, I mean, your environment really is the invisible hand that shapes all human behavior. So my environment is gonna prime my activity. So if there is a water bottle sitting right next to my laptop, I'm gonna drink it throughout the day. So
And if there's an Almond Joy sitting right next to mine, I'll eat it.
Exactly. And then the other one that I try to do, it's pretty much been an habitual activity throughout for the past 2 years, is right when I wake up, I drink probably 16 to 20 ounces of water, and right before I go to sleep, I drink 16 to 20 ounces of water, just because in that sleeping state, your body is going through so much recovery and changes that it needs to stay hydrated. And when you wake up, the first thing for your brain to kind of like turn your brain on is to just drink some water. It's so good for your brain health.
Yeah.
So those are
I'll
also
tell you what
two
would
good
happen
hydration
if I
things.
drank 20 ounces of water right before I went to bed as a 40-year-old female.
What would happen,
I'd
Jill?
be up all night going to the bathroom.
13 times later to the bathroom.
Yes, so I would try to get that in, more like dinner time. But one little strategy that I have tried to do is to make sure that between my cups of coffee, I'm drinking water.
Yes.
So Jill,
Yes.
drink this cup of water before you go to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one thing my wife Hannah that she does that I really admire is she makes sure she drinks a full Yeti of water before she drinks her coffee.
There you go.
Which is very
It's
admirable.
like a prerequisite.
Yes.
Yes.
Speaking of coffee, let's talk about that really quick.
Okay.
It is the second most consumed beverage in the world, second to water.
Sure.
Which is pretty crazy if you think about
Yeah.
it. Here's the thing, though. Coffee is such a socially acceptable behavior, but if we're not careful with it, it really can mask a lot of unhealthy tendencies. But taken with care, it is a great addition to our day.
Sure.
So there really is this gray area. It could be really bad. It could be a dependency, all the way to the other side where it could be a delight, right? And I like to say coffee should be a delight, not a dependency. It has its place, but we shouldn't be relying on it to get us through the day.
Yeah.
Jill, talk to us about coffee.
I'll talk to you as a user.
As a
yes.
user.
So obviously, like the big thing with coffee is the caffeine content. So here's a little trick. If coffee is something that you do like to have specifically in the winter, I tend to drink a little more because it's nice and warm.
Right.
Go for decaf. Decaf still has a little bit of caffeine in it, but it gives you that coffee flavor and that warm beverage in the afternoon. But I do believe that you can overconsume coffee. I haven't personally experienced that because I don't know what my max is. And yes, I think once you reach a level of dependency where you're having withdrawals and headaches and things like that, you definitely don't want to go that far with your consumption.
Yes.
But to keep it in the delight zone, yeah, I think that's where you want to be.
That's great. And whenever something is going on in your body's trying to like talk to you, whether it's a headache or pain in your knee or you're having mental fatigue or blurriness or fuzzy, like those are signals your body's trying to tell you. So say you do back off coffee and you are starting to get those headaches, it's not just a Tylenol withdrawal, right? And we don't just put a Band-Aid on it. We need to really take a layer back and look, okay, what is going on? And if it is a coffee withdrawal, then maybe we need to make some changes in our lifestyle. Could be something else, but really pay attention to what our body's trying to tell us.
Absolutely.
So Jill, is there just a bottom line when it comes to like one sentence or just one idea that you would tell people when it comes to nutrition? If they don't remember anything else from this conversation, what do you want to leave them with?
I would say the best eating habits are sustainable,
Mm-hmm.
and you will focus on quality and quantity with 80 and 20% adherence.
I love that.
I just wrapped everything into one sentence.
Into one sentence.
Yeah.
My one sentence summary is eat clean but not extreme.
I thought you were going to say eat clean, train dirty, like all those shirts
No!
say. Sorry.
That's hilarious.
I was just waiting
That's a
on it.
different brand, people. Don't worry about it. I'll talk to Jill after the
Sorry.
episode. Sorry. Anyways, no, eat clean but not extreme.
Yes.
It pretty much
Yeah.
hits that.
I like
it's
it.
exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Eat clean but not extreme.
I'd wear that shirt.
Ooh, there we go.
I'd
Anybody
wear
want
that.
to start a eat clean but not extreme shirt?
Yeah.
Jill, this has been phenomenal. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you on another episode of the Coming Strength and Fitness Fitcast. Have a great one, Jill.
All right. See ya. Thank you for joining us today, friends. We hope you enjoyed this conversation and gained a greater understanding of the mission and vision of the CSNF community. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram under Coming Strength and Fitness, or hit us up on comingstrengthandfitness.com. See you next time.